What's going on, everybody? You're back with the Real Bodybuilding Podcast, and I'm here with my man, Roman Fritz. This is episode number 95. How are you, sir? How's it going?
I'm great. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. I've been trying to get you on for a while. Actually, early on when I started, I was trying to get you on, and you kept blowing me off. And then, and then now you have time for me. So I'm happy that you're on finally, so I get to ask you all the questions I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You're kind of an enigma in the sport. I have a million questions as to why you look the way you look and if it's just genetic, but I don't think it is, because I know I've heard a lot of stories about how perfect you are on your diet and how you weigh everything to the gram, and the whole German precision thing kind of suits your style. So I want to start with why you're so shredded all the time. Let's start there. Is it your diet or is it genetics?
It is a little bit of both. So obviously I'm very regimented. You know, we talked about that after the Arnold you did.
Yeah.
And God damn it, that's 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
4 years?
4 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while.
I still got your shirt. I should have worn it.
Yeah, it's okay. So
go ahead. It is a mixture of genetics and terrible OCD.
Okay. Yeah.
I can definitely eat, and I don't get fat. I always have like striated glutes, and I have veins on my abs and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm also very regimented. It doesn't come. Maybe it comes easier than for some people, because I know guys that can get fat on chicken and rice if they eat too much of it. But even before a show, for example, and that's where it really shows, I can carb up, I have to carb up on pure McDonald's and ice cream and apple pies and all that. I can't carb up on plain chicken and rice, or
nothing happens.
I get smaller. I can, like the last week before the show, when I tried carbing up clean, but I just whittle away.
So in the off season, are you eating a lot of junk food, or no? Are you trying to like keep your weight up?
I've tried several approaches. You know, I've tried the have a cheat meal a day thing.
Yeah.
And I've tried the all clean, but more calorie dense foods. And although the cheat meal approach might seem easier, the clean approach is the one that works better because of digestion.
Yeah. But if someone I guess this is kind of geared towards hard gainers, because I know we've talked before, and you said you were eating up to 1,000 grams of carbs and you still couldn't put on weight.
Yeah.
So what is a guy supposed to do? Like, I mean, you've got a lot of muscle already, so you're kind of ahead of the game. But let's say somebody weighs, 180, 200 pounds, and they're trying to put on weight and they can't put on any weight. How did you get to 200? Like, what do you weigh on stage? 250, 240?
Last time I competed, I was 240 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you go from, if you're a hard gainer, how did you get to 240 or 245 or 250? How did you, like, was there a lot of cheat meals along the way, or was it just constant clean food?
Man, just for all the hard gainers out there, I'm 5'11", okay?
Yeah.
I started out when I was 15 years old at 5'11". I weighed 125 pounds.
Holy shit.
You could literally, like, no joke, see the ribs on my back. So I had no muscle whatsoever. My knees were thicker than my thighs.
So what did you do? Like, how do you go from 125? Like, how did you start to put on weight? Let's go way back to when you were 125. What was the early programs? What did those look like? Your diet? Like, how was that structured?
My cousin, his name is Christian. He was a trainer in a gym. So my mom set me up with him, and I think what really happened behind the scenes was she called him up and told him, "Man, we got to get we got to do something about this kid, man, because he looks like he's sick. Yeah. So he took me to the gym, and he showed me a couple of exercises here and there. And then he told me the basics, like you have to eat several times a day. At first I was a little hesitant. So I started, I was still believing in you can't eat after 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Or you get fat. Yeah. So that's what I did. But I woke up before school. So I basically had 12 hours to eat. So in that time frame, I ate like 4 or 5 meals. And those were all somewhat clean, but also a little junky here and there. Yeah. But I had a set schedule from day one. So the story is, I was in a youth home, like, and I think it's called boarding school.
Okay.
But it's not the kind of boarding school you think when you read Harry Potter. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it's not that nice. Yeah. And they had a weight room. They had a weight room in the basement, and it was a bench, like an adjustable bench, chin-up bars, a couple of plates and barbells, and those adjustable dumbbells. You know, when you can stick the little plates on and the screws. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I had, and there were a couple students, like exchange students from Hungary. Mm-hmm. And those guys were, in my opinion, they were jacked. You know, they were benching like 80 kilos. That's like 185. Yeah. And they had a Flex magazine with them, and they left it one day. So I didn't go to the weight room when they were there, because I was, you know, half the size of them. And they left that Flex magazine there, and I found it, and it had Kevin Levrone on the cover. Kevin, and he's, you know, I don't know if you know that picture. He's doing like a cable crossover. Yeah. Okay. On the cover, and I said, "Fuck, you can look this muscular, and this is possible. You can." That's what I'm gonna do. That was right there. I said, "That's what I'm gonna do." I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, but that's what I'm gonna do. So that right there, I started bodybuilding.
How old were you then? 14?
15.
15. Okay.
So I started hooking up with my cousin 2003 in December. And I watched I got the Flex magazine with the Olympia of 2003, where Ronnie won, where he was like 300 pounds. So that was my standard. And so I ate those 4 meals a day at first, and they were Flex magazine diet, basically. You know, oatmeal in the morning with 2 scoops of whey protein. And then when I got home on the weekends from the home I was in, I cooked my food in advance, my mom helping me. Yeah. And I brought it to this youth home.
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Can I ask? Is my audio off on your end?
No, it's great.
Still good. Okay.
It's a little. It sounds a little on the water, but it's better than that we had before.
Okay. Well, for anybody watching out there, that's why you see I'm not using the mic. We're having some audio issues, so I hope when this is done that we'll be able to release it. But anyways, can I ask why you were in the boarding school? Like, were your parents together? Like, how was your childhood? Or why did they put you in a boarding school?
My dad left when I was 11, something like that, because he met a different woman with that already had a son, and apparently that guy was better than me. So he just fucking left, and so I got into that. My mom put me into that home because she had to work and all that. I got there in 2001. So I was like, I was 12.
Yeah. Do you think that had anything to do with why you're so regimented and why you're bodybuilding?
Definitely. And I think right now, looking back at it, because I got, when you go into it, you come into this home, yeah? Four dudes in a room. Mm-hmm. You're the new guy. Yeah. You get all the shit from everyone, yeah? For the first couple of years. And so that wasn't funny, but I survived it. And I think that's where I got the bodybuilding thing from. I had to build an armor around me.
So you're kind of you did it kind of to protect yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Huh. Definitely.
So in the beginning, so you got your diets from Flex magazine. How fast did you put on weight? Like, how fast did you notice that your body was responding to everything?
The first 9 weeks, I put on 25 pounds.
Oh, shit.
So I went from 125 to 150, and I thought I was jacked. I was so fucking big at that point, man.
Yeah.
The greatest thing I can remember was there was this girl. Her name was Anna. I was a little bit into her, and I had like a tight shirt on. And she saw me, I think like after we have like Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
So I was at home for 2 weeks. I trained at home, extra hard, ate extra food. And I came back and she saw me, I had a tight shirt on. And she was like, "Oh, are you wearing shoulder pads?" Touching me,
Yeah.
That was the greatest moment to this day. Yeah.
So obviously you got some really good reinforcement. How did the 25 pounds differ to the guys in your room that were like, I don't know if they were picking on you or what, but how did it change the way those guys reacted towards you?
No, because one guy in my room, he was like really fat. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he was monstrous. Right now I love the guy, but back then I hated him. Yeah. I think he was probably 240 at that point with my height.
15 years old.
Yeah, no shit. He was 240. He was tremendous. The other guy just was a little chubby, but he was like a real hard ass. He started fights with everyone, And then the third guy was just kind of like a clown. He always used to pick on me. I don't know, for no reason, but he was just an average guy. But
So you got up to 150, and they're still bugging you and stuff. What are you thinking at this point? Like, how long did it take you to keep growing, and how long were you in the boarding school? Like, much longer did you stay at that boarding school?
I stayed there from when I was 12 years old until I was 20.
Wow. So for the next 5 years, so your progression for bodybuilding, like, when did you get big enough for them to fuck off and leave you alone?
It stopped, I think, at around, I did my first show when I was 17 years old, mm-hmm. The state championships in the junior class. Junior back then in Germany or in Europe means you're under 21.
Yeah.
So I was 17 and I won the overall.
Wow.
And at that point, all the picking stopped. And it turned into, we won the overall at that show.
They took credit for it, eh?
Yeah, of course, because we won the overall. Yeah. And now we're gonna go into the nationals. That was 2 weeks later, and we are going to win there too.
Okay, looking back at it now, you laugh at it, but at the time, did you feel like you had overcome it? Like, was it a relief that all of a sudden these guys were on your side? Like they wanted to be part of it, or did it bother you that they all of a sudden jumped on the bandwagon?
No, that was cool. And the process wasn't like a flip the switch thing. It snuck in over the first 3 years. They kind of came on my side, and then at the end, when boarding school ended, I was the man there. Okay.
How big were you when you finished boarding school?
Probably too big. That was the times when I still used to get fat. Okay.
I didn't know you ever did get fat.
Man, I can send you pictures. Nah, I really got fat at some point. Okay.
If you have pictures, send them to me, and I'll try and like edit them into the video at this point.
Okay.
But I thought you were always crazy, like you were always lean. So you were able to get fat when you were younger.
Yeah, because I really overdid it with the food, just because I read in Flex magazine, it said Jay Cutler is eating 1,000 grams of carbs. So,
you know how many guys I've heard tell me the story that they saw Jay Cutler eats 1,000 grams of carbs, so they started eating 1,000 grams of carbs.
That's exactly what I did, man.
And they just got fat.
Yeah. Because I was 16 years old, you know?
Yeah. But that, you know what that means though, is it's not all genetic. Because if you're able to get fat, then it, like you said, it's partially genetic, but you said it's partially OCD. When did the OCD part kick in? Like when did you start being more mindful of your diet?
It was from the beginning. Okay. I was very OCD from the beginning, but I was very strict in everything, because when I said I'm eating 1,000 grams of carbs, I ate 1,000 grams of carbs from rice cakes, oatmeal, plain chicken, and broccoli.
And knowing you, I'm going to imagine that you do that every day.
Of course, yeah. I had one cheat meal a week with my friends that lived at home. Yeah, so we went to Burger King.
So
every week.
Wait a minute. So you were still OCD, but you were doing things wrong, but you didn't know you were doing things wrong. So were you timing your meals, or just making sure you got in every 2 hours? Like, how OCD were you?
I ate at 7. I ate at 10:30. That was the first break in school.
Yeah.
I ate at 1. Yeah. Then I trained. Then I ate at 4. Then I ate at 7. Then I trained. Then I ate at 10.
And
then I ate at midnight, and that was it. Yeah.
So you're eating 8 meals a day? Is that 8 meals? I saw you count 8 meals on your hands. Or was that adding in the training? So
that was adding in the training. So it's 6 meals.
6 meals.
But I did in 2007 when I was 17 or something like that, or 18. I definitely did a post-workout shake all the time. So I had 2 post-workout shakes. So that was 8 feedings basically.
Yeah.
But in 2007, I read an article of Milos in Flex magazine. And I started doing the intra-workout stuff.
Oh, fuck. So now you're doing 9 feedings.
Yeah. The intra-workout, I've got this Flex magazine flying around here somewhere. The intra-workout stuff was a game changer.
Really?
Yeah, that blew me up like tremendously.
So wait a minute, how big were you at? So you started that at 17 or 18, you said. How big were you when you started the intra-workout stuff? Like, what was your weight?
So the first 9 weeks I gained 25 pounds. Then it took me another 6 months to gain another 25 pounds.
Yeah.
So I was 175 at that point.
Being 50 pounds within a year.
Yeah, within like 8 months, 8 or 9 months. But I was still skinny,
Yeah.
And then it took me a while, to get to 185. That's 80 kilos. God damn it, that took me so long.
Yeah.
But I ate clean. I ate 6 meals a day. And back then, I can remember I did those 6 meals, and they were all 600 calorie meals. Okay. And listen, I had a system. It was 300 calories worth of carbohydrates and 300 calories worth of protein every meal. And that was so easy. Yeah. And that got me to like, I think 190 after like 2 years or so. I was 17, I got to 190, but I got leaner and I started looking better.
You're growing.
190, I was stuck at 190, but I started to look better.
Yeah.
And then I read that article and I started doing the intra-workout stuff. So I added 50 grams of carbs before, during, and after training, with essential amino acids that were freaking expensive at that point. You know, there was only one company that made them. That was called Peak.
Yeah.
Tasted horrible. Tastes horrible.
Tastes like shit. Yeah.
Oof. And that got me to the intra-workout thing. Got me to like 200 or something.
Yeah.
95 kilos. That's a little more than 200. 212 is 96 kilos.
Yeah.
So I was hovering around there.
So you got all your information from Flex Magazine, for what it sounds like. And even though it wasn't necessarily right, it helped you get to where you need to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So the information's there for people if they're willing to do the work, is kind of the moral of it. But at what point did you start to go, I know when you saw the Kevin Levrone magazine, you said, that's what I want to do. But how did you, at that point, were you thinking, I want to be a professional bodybuilder? Or where did that start? Right from that very point.
Exact. From day one, I'd never trained for anything else than being a professional bodybuilder. I never trained for, obviously I trained for fun, but I never trained for anything less than a pro card.
But you knew when you were 15, you're like, I want to be a pro bodybuilder.
Yes.
Wow.
And my mom got fucking pissed off when I told her I'm not gonna go to university and study anything because I'm gonna be a pro anyway. He was like,
that's what my mom did. Yeah, my mom thought that too. So how did you overcome that? Did you live at home at the time?
Yes, I went after the whole. Actually, we have to go back because I did my first show when I was 17 years old. I turned 18 between my first and my second show. That was 2 weeks apart. I placed 5th at the German Nationals, and now get this. I was featured in Flex magazine. Like I had like one picture.
Yeah.
5th place, Roman Fritz, and it said he had some issues with definition.
Oh shit.
Still had some issues with definition. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna show them next time.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, when I had finished school, when I was out of the boarding school, I lived at the last 6 months up to the German Nationals. Yeah. I lived at home and I dieted like a motherfucker. You know, I dieted because at that point I had found Muscular Development magazine.
Yeah.
So I was reading all the English articles, thinking there was so much more science to them. Yeah.
So when you say dieting like a motherfucker, how hard was your diet? You did it all yourself. How hard did you make it on yourself? Like how many calories? Do you remember how many calories?
I remember everything. I started dieting at 105 kilos. That's 100 kilos is 225, and then another 12. I was my off season, so I was like 237.
Yeah.
But fat, okay, like swollen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my main meal at that point was deli meat instead of chicken.
Okay.
Then you know those mozzarella cheese balls?
Yeah.
We have a light version over here.
Yeah.
It has a little less fat. Pickles.
Okay.
And whole wheat bread. That was 3 meals of my day were like that.
Okay, before you go on though, why that meal? Where did you get that idea from?
It tasted great. I just like the cheese and the deli meat. Yeah. And I figured, okay, the cheese has this much protein, the deli meat has this much protein, and the bread has this much carbs.
Yeah.
So breakfast was still oatmeal and egg whites at that point. And my last meal was like cottage cheese, tuna fish, like two cans of tuna, a tub of cottage cheese, and oatmeal. That was always the last meal.
That sounds like a stomach ache. That just sounds like a stomach ache. Like
no issues at that point, man.
Yeah.
When you're young, your body can just digest it.
It's crazy, right? How that changes.
Yeah. I noticed because when I was like all through my 20s, man, my diets were just loaded with crap. Same thing. I would do deli meat and stuff, and I never had any issues. Now I'm like so sensitive to everything.
Exactly. It's getting to me too.
So when you got into the diet, how did you change? Obviously you got rid of the deli meat, you got rid of the mozzarella, you got rid of all that. How low did your calories get?
First of all, I contacted Dave Palumbo. Okay. Because I saw some videos of, I was watching In the Trenches on Muscular Development, the training series of him, where he interviewed all the pros, and he was like pushing his keto diet like on everybody. Keto was the greatest thing on earth. And then I got to know Dave, I got to know Kai Green, I got to know all those pros I didn't know before that. And so I approached Dave Palumbo to help me for the show, and I didn't have the money. Although he only charged me, he wanted $500. But I was like, I don't have $500, man. And my mom said at that point, you're not going to send $500 to some guy you don't even know. So I did my diet by myself. And what I did at first, I gradually decreased carbs. So it worked great. I went from 105 kilos to 95 kilos. So that's about 212, around there, 210. And then I thought, I'm not shredded. And I saw a video. You know the video that Dave did with Kai Green in his apartment where he still lives in the Bronx? So that's what I saw. And Kai Green said he eats tilapia 9 times a day.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I'm just going to eat nothing but tilapia 9 times a day. So for the next 3 weeks, I ate nothing but tilapia, water, and black pepper. No vegetables. That was the only 3 things that entered my mouth in 3 weeks. So I dropped down from 95, so 210. I dropped to 180 in 3 weeks.
So you lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not good, man.
My buddy from the gym saw me and he's like, dude, that's not bodybuilding anymore. You look like you're you look like you spent 3 weeks in Auschwitz. So I was fucking shredded at that point. I had striations everywhere. My hamstrings were separated, skinny but separated. I had cross striations in my calves. I had cross striations in my abs. Everything. It looked, and my face was like
dead.
It looked sick. So I went to the first show, and I won the overall again at the state championships. The guy that took second, his name is Karim. Shout outs to him. Okay. He had a big posse with him, and they booed me off the stage after I won because I think he was like 30 pounds heavier than me, but he was fat. So he lost. The judges gave it to me. And then I even won the German nationals like that.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Yeah. Because they said I was the most shredded junior competitor they had ever seen in their whole entire lives. Did you but you don't get a pro card for winning nationals as a junior, right? No, I didn't.
So what happened next?
Next, I hooked up with his name is Bernhard Schuber.
Okay.
He owned a gym the next town over, like an hour away. I still did my own diet, but he always, he gave me a little guidance as far as I showed him what I was going to do. And he said, okay, that's a good idea. Or maybe change a little bit, maybe change this around, change that around. I started doing the intra workout heavy again because I had cut it out for the diet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I started gaining lean weight like crazy. I was at the show, you know, I was, like I said, I was about 185 or so when I won the junior German championships.
Yeah.
And I started like this rebound without putting on any fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I got to 190, 195, 200, 210, 220. And
still shredded.
Yeah. Now listen to this. I made it to 120 kilos. So I think that's 260 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I went from, in 1 year, I went from 185 on stage to 260 off season.
Yeah.
And then they said over there, listen, you're going to do the world championships.
Okay.
And I was like, get out of here. I'm not going to do the world championships. There's Russians, there's Egyptians, there's the whole world, obviously. What the fuck am I going to do there?
Yeah.
They said, no, you can win this. And I was like, all right, you pay for it.
When you say they, who's they?
The guy at the gym, he was a judge in the German Federation.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said, okay, I will help you prep. And you do the that's like the Team Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you win that, we're paying for your flight and everything and hotel. I said, okay, I'm going to do that.
Can I stop you for a minute though? I want to back you up. There's a couple questions I have. One, after you did that show, you had to pull out of university for that show, right? Like your mom wanted you to go. You said your mom wanted you to go to school. And you.
Yeah, I started university. I did like 8 months or so. Yeah. I was working at a gym here and there, stuff like that.
But when you were in school, when was the show that you just won, that where you were 180? Was that before you started school or after?
So I finished school.
Yeah.
The show was 6 months later.
Yeah.
And then I had to wait 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay, until I could get to university.
Yeah.
So university started exactly a year after I won that show.
So you were like 240, 250 pounds when you started university.
Yes. No. Sorry. Okay. That university started, I think, 4 weeks out from the show, from the World Championships.
Oh, okay. Oh, so okay. So you started school 4 weeks out from the World Championships.
Yes. I was already shredded. Okay. I was training twice a day at that point.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 4. That was my day. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, did cardio an hour on the treadmill at home, on my treadmill. Then I drove to the gym, trained, got to university at about 8 or 9, probably too late. Then the first day I got there, I told the students that were sitting around me, I told them, listen, when I fall asleep on my desk, don't wake me up. And they were like, haha, yeah, sure, yeah, right. And then first class, I'm lying on the fucking table, like sleeping. And they're like, you were serious the whole time? Of course I was serious. I told you. So after university, when classes were over, and I probably left early.
Yeah.
I went back to the gym, did my second workout, did my second cardio session, went home, cooked my meals, got to bed at 9:30.
Okay, let me stop you again. So I want to go back one more time. So when you put on that rebound weight and you went from 180 to like 250 or 260, what was the diet like at that point? Were you still eating the wrong things, or did you have a better idea of what you wanted to eat? And like, were you eating cleaner foods, or were you still eating like deli meat and like pickles and all that shit?
At that point, I got as strict as anyone can be. I had one cheat meal after the show. Yeah. The show I did at 180. Yeah. I had one cheat meal. And I didn't have another one until the next show, until the World Championships. All I ate was 100% clean, oatmeal in the morning, egg whites with an apple. Then I trained. I only trained once the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And then all I had was, intra-workout, post-workout, then steak and rice, chicken and rice, steak and rice, chicken and rice. And my last meal was oatmeal again and a pound of steak.
Okay. Can I ask you this? When you're doing that diet, are you adding any condiments to your food?
Black pepper.
I knew it. Are you, okay, no condiments. So no condiments, no cheat meals. Are you adding extra food, or like you have a diet? Like, let's say you're eating steak and rice. If you're hungry, are you adding more rice, or are you just like, no, this is what I'm eating, and then you have a calculated time when you add more?
Yes. I didn't add any. I weighed out. Listen, I weighed out my protein to the gram, like 250 grams of chicken.
Yeah.
Not 251 grams and not 249. I would be there with a scissor and cut up 1 gram if there was 1 gram too many on the plate.
Fuck, man. That's insane. So, okay, before we go on, where does this come from? And is it by accident? Like, are you just, you're a little bit crazy, or is your desire to be great so strong that that's where the dedication comes from? Like, what is it? Is it like, I'm Roman, I'm nuts, I have to do everything perfectly? Or is it, I want to be so great that nothing can change my mind about what I'm doing?
I didn't even think about that at that point, because my plan was 250 grams of anything and 100 grams of rice. So it didn't even cross my mind to do anything but what was exactly written on the plan. I wasn't thinking, oh man, I'm Roman, I'm crazy, or I have to do this. It said 250, so that's why I'm doing 250.
But looking back at it now, when you look back at it, I know at the time you probably don't realize or recognize, but looking back at it now, do you look at it as my desire was so great that I had to be perfect? Or do you look at it as I have OCD and I just have to be perfect or else I don't feel good about myself?
No, I saw other people do their foods, like guys I trained with.
Yeah.
And they were winging it.
Yeah.
They were like a bowl of rice. So I figured, if I'm perfect, by default, I'm going to be better than them.
Yeah.
And if anyone else that's doing the World Championships is less than perfect, I'm going to beat him, because I am down to the gram. I can't do any better. That's what because they told me you're going to do the World Championships, yeah, like 8 months before the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first I was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, man, you have to be perfect. You have to stay on that 100% perfect track, because if you don't, and someone else is, you're going to lose in front of the whole world. Yeah.
So when you say that to me, I don't think, it doesn't sound like someone crazy. It sounds like somebody with a lot of desire.
Exactly.
So it doesn't sound like OCD at all. It just sounds like somebody that wants to win. I mean, that's, Branch Warren has said the same thing to me. Branch Warren has had that same mentality where he's like, this is what it was. This is what I did. And I knew as long as I worked everybody else, I would win.
That's exactly what I was. That's exactly how I felt, what my thought process was.
When you were doing that, did it affect your relationships or your life in any way? Like family, friends, girlfriends, like, did people understand or no?
I was, in that year, I pretty much lived by myself.
Okay.
I had no social life whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like zero. I met a couple girls here and there.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bodybuild. And, you know, when 18, 19, 20-year-old girls have other things in mind, you know, going out and everything, that wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to bounce. I started bouncing later. That's a story for later.
Yeah.
But in that year, I had zero social anything.
But that didn't bother you at all. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. I think that's a lot of us. Like, you know, we had a conversation. Well, it was more of an argument on one of the podcasts about balance, and how I said, you know, bodybuilders don't have balance because
I agree. If I had been on that show, okay, I would have been on your side.
You definitely. I know you definitely agree with me, but that's, yeah, and that's kind of what I meant with it, because I think a lot of us, you know, if back in the day I was with a girl in my 20s and she said, hey, I want you to skip a meal and come to dinner or come to this party or something, I'd be like, no, I ain't doing that. And even if she said I'm leaving, I'd have been like, well, you can leave. This is what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
So I understand the mentality 100%. But okay, so moving forward, so you figured out a way to get yourself to grow, and you get to the world
championships. Yeah.
World championships. What happens?
So I do the diet. It goes great. I'm at the last 4 weeks were horrible with school and everything,
yeah.
But I made it work. And I get to the show. At the weigh-ins, you know, you have to strip down, you get weighed in. The guy that weighs in before me from Egypt,
yeah,
he's like a head taller, weighs in at 240. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing here? I step on a scale, man, 225. So I still put on, I went from 185 to 225 of stage weight. Yeah. In that 1 year. But yeah. I was like, what the? And then all of a sudden, there's reporters from muscular development, and they had a European like a division over there. Yeah. And people are asking me for pictures, like, you know, for posing for the magazine and everything. I'm like, why the fuck are they asking me for anything? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And then, so they're taking pictures of me. One guy from Austria, he obviously speaks German too. He comes up to me. The president from the Austrian Federation congratulates me before the show at weigh-ins on my shape and everything. And I'm like, what are they seeing what I'm not seeing? Okay. And the Egyptian guy comes to me, the Egyptian president. I don't remember what he said, because I really didn't understand, but you know, it was complimentary. So that the show is the next day, 2-day show.
Yeah.
And I'm in the first call out. It's crazy over there. They have, listen to this, man. They have they have nine judges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Every judge gets his own first call out.
Oh fuck.
So I am doing 9 rounds of compulsory poses.
Yeah.
Standing in the fucking middle.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Afterwards, I got, and that was the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get backstage. My legs are cramping. Everything is horrible. I'm thirsty, and I'm like, man, I hope I didn't make it to the finals. Like literally, I was like, fuck, I hope I didn't make it to the finals.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, we're going back to the hotel. You know, that the second round also, that was horrible as well. We're going back to the hotel. I'm thirsty, I can't drink. All I get to drink is a half a liter of water.
Yeah.
From that Bernhard Schuber. He told me to drink a half a liter of water. I'm eating some rice cakes and dry chicken. No burgers and fries at that point. I didn't even know about burgers and fries. It's carb. Yeah. So I'm like, man, Bernie, I told him, Bernie, I hope I didn't make the finals. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't make the finals. You're winning the show.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here. I'm not winning anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still like in total delirium in my head. Yeah. So next day I feel a little bit better. At night I can't sleep. So I think I walked around. That was in Poland, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm walking around the streets of Poland for like 2 hours at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It's freaking cold.
Why are you just nervous?
I can't sleep. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. I'm hot. I'm nervous. Yeah. I'm walking around there in a t-shirt. Okay. It's snowing. And I'm so hot because your body needs water to cool down. Yeah. So I'm walking around outside because it's hot. I feel great. Yeah. 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking at a church. Yeah. That's like lit up. Yeah. I don't even, I'll come back to the hotel, lie on the floor. And as you do when you read Flex magazine, you don't lie in bed. You lie on the floor with your feet on the bed.
Up, yeah.
So you don't hold water. So that's how I spent that night, the rest of it. Got to the show the next morning. Back then we still had that dream tan, that
the bronzer.
That ugly color. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that they put that on me again. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I win the show. I was like, fuck. Okay.
No idea.
Somehow it came into my mind that I might win, but I'm winning the show. But I win my class. I win the overall. So, and I do the doping drug test.
Yeah.
They have us drug tested. Actually, they didn't drug test me.
Yeah.
They do they say the show is drug. That's how it works. They say the show is drug tested. So they do by, you draw a stick.
Yeah.
The top 5 draw a stick.
It's random.
The shortest stick gets the drug test. The Egyptian, the 2 Egyptian. So I placed first, second place Egypt, third place someone from Poland, fourth place that Karim guy from 2 years ago. Okay, he started for Egypt also, and fifth place another Polish guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that fifth place gets tested. The Egyptians, one of them still had like a bump on his ass from injection.
Yeah.
I was clean. Okay.
Yeah.
I literally won that show clean.
Okay.
And that was a hassle, I'm telling you. And so I get off stage. I have my 2 trophies, like huge trophies, put them on my gym bag, go leave the venue, get on a bus. I don't even know how I figured out that bus.
Yeah.
And drive back to the hotel, like looking at my trophies still. And then that night was a banquet. All I did was drink water. I didn't eat one bite of food.
Yeah.
The Egyptian guys come to me again, congratulate me. They give me a present gave me a present that was nice. And that was the show. I earned a pro card at that day.
You know what's amazing? That's amazing about the whole story. I think it's funny how many bodybuilders I talk to at this level that have no idea what they look like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're always the last person to know that you're going to win.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing, the same story over and over again. A lot of guys are like, I didn't know I looked that good. I didn't know I was going to win. People were telling me I look good. When it's just amazing to me that it's like we're so hard on ourselves that we can't see what anybody else sees.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I earned a pro card that day.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it.
Why?
Because I was too small to compete in the pros, man.
Oh my God, fucking Roman. You make my head hurt, dude. So what do you mean?
Why don't you just take it and hold on to it?
Yeah, I thought, okay,
So
if I take that pro card now,
yeah,
for now, my career's over. I can't do any more shows until I'm.
Okay, but now if you don't take it, you have to go back and try and get it again?
Yes.
Oh my God. Why don't you just take it and hold on to it until you're big enough to compete?
Yeah, that was my idea at that point. I thought I knew I was going to win it anyways.
Yeah.
In the future. At that point, I thought I was confident enough. Yeah. So I said, I don't need it right now. I'm just going to win another one.
Wow. So how old were you when that happened?
21.
21. Okay. So the question I have to ask you then is, at what point do you leave school? Is it how many months after that? Like 6 months after that, you decide to leave school?
No, I actually finished even university.
Oh, you did finish. I thought you said you left school.
No, I finished that one. I have a bachelor's degree in management.
Okay, so you finished. So, because I thought earlier in the conversation you said you told your mom you were leaving university to bodybuild.
Yeah, I told her, but she wasn't having it.
Oh, she didn't let you. So she made you finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Were you living at home at the time?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's funny because most guys, like for me, I left school after 2 years. I took 2 years of university and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go focus on bodybuilding.
I actually started studying veterinary medicine, animal medicine. And I quit that. And then I did the management thing because it was shorter and it was easier and I could do it and still bodybuild. Because actually the medicine thing would have actually taken effort.
So you thought to yourself, I'll get this thing, I can satisfy my mom, and then I can go do whatever I want.
Exactly. That's how it worked.
Wow, man. So okay, let's fast forward to now. So you get your pro card and here you are now. And one of the things me and you have talked about is you constantly are trying to get bigger. What are you weighing right now?
260.
Okay. The knock on you amongst pros has always been, not amongst us, but the judging has always been, you're shredded, your physique is amazing, but
you're too small.
Bigger, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing now to put on, like, because obviously like everybody reaches a point where their body just gets stuck. Like for me, I had trouble ever going past 250, 255, 260 was the biggest I ever got on stage. How are you going to counter that now? Like, what are you doing now to kind of get past that point?
Man, you're missing the whole story, man. Fast forwarding so.
Well, I don't want to fast forward. I just want to. Okay, fine. Let's go back.
I want another 2 pro cards.
Okay, go all the way back. Okay, let's go all the way back. So you give them back the pro card. You say I don't want it. Then what happens after that? Tell me.
So I compete the next year.
Yeah.
And
at the World Championships again?
No, the German. I won I'm in the men's class now.
Yeah.
So I won the state title again overall. And then I was a super heavyweight. And I was advised to go down to heavyweights.
Okay.
Yeah. So I dropped 12 pounds the last 2 weeks. And I made the heavyweights by 100 grams.
Oh,
yeah. But at that point, I looked like shit. And there was no coming back from it. So I took second in the heavyweight class.
Yeah.
First place would have been the other pro card. The second one, yeah. So I'm pissed at that point. And I'm still studying and everything next to my bodybuilding. Then I injure my knee like 2 months later.
Yeah.
After that show. And I'm not able to compete until 2000. That was 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready when my knee and everything was good. I got ready for the Arnold Classic Amateur in 2013.
So it took you 3 years. What was the injury to your knee?
Just some stupid squatting bullshit, you know.
Did you tear anything or no?
No,
Okay.
just my one of my meniscus is a little damaged, yeah, and a lot of tendon shit, you know. But I have one tear, my right sartorius muscle, the long one, you know,
Yep.
on the right side. That's gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, my knees were just overworked.
Okay.
So they took a long time to heal up.
So 2013, you did the Arnold Classic.
2013, I got ready for the Arnold Classic. At first, I prepped myself.
Yeah.
Then Dennis Wolf helped me for the last couple.
I wanted to ask you that. So what year did Dennis Wolf turn pro?
2005.
So is he the big deal? He's obviously the big deal in Germany at that point.
Yeah.
Are you guys friends or no?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But I don't even know how I got in touch with him. I think I posted something on Instagram.
Yeah.
No, there was no Instagram at that. I posted something on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got in touch with him. I think he commented or something like that. Yeah, you look good. Oh no. After I placed second, you know,
yeah,
Ed Connors invited me to come over to California.
Yeah.
So I spent a month with Ed Connors.
Okay.
And we visited Dennis in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. I trained with him twice. We went out to Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, we don't have Cheesecake Factory in Germany.
Yeah.
And that was after he placed second at the Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he went to Australia again. He placed second again. That was 2011. Yes. And yeah, that's how I knew Dennis. That's why I got his phone number.
Okay.
And then I injured my knee. Okay, that's a very important step that I forgot. So then I injured my knee and couldn't compete until 2013.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks out, I was doing my crash diet bullshit again. Not with zero carbs, but way too little carbs and way too much cardio.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey Dennis, can you look at this, please?" Yeah. And he was like, "Damn it, you look great." I was like, "What the fuck are you looking at? I'm fat." He's like, "No, let me help you. Go ahead tomorrow, eat the whole day, no matter what, anything you want." Because he's a Chad Nichols guy.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, I can do a lot of damage, you know, in one day. He's like, "Doesn't matter, go ahead, eat what you want." So that's what we did for the last, I think, 5 or 6 weeks. On Monday, I didn't do Sunday because on Sunday everything is closed over here. So on Monday, I ate whatever the fuck I wanted. And the other 6 days were diet. And I looked great. I looked awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody told me I was going to win the show. I thought I was going to win the show. I arrived in Ohio in Columbus on Monday before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Met Ben Pakulski in the gym. Yeah, even he knew who I was. That was fucking great. Ben Pakulski placed second. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got home from the gym, I felt a little off. I was like, okay. Woke up the next morning, had the worst stomach flu you can imagine. Okay. I went from 238 or something to 220 in 3 days.
Fuck.
And everything was gone. Like my whole, it was gone, you know, down the toilet, literally. Yeah. Yeah. So I placed third. Yeah. Okay. And I thought, I'm going to quit this shit. This isn't worth it. This is not worth it. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I skipped my pro card the first time. I should have taken it. Yeah. I thought I was going to get it here, but now this fucking stomach flu fucked up everything. My girlfriend at that point, she was there with me. That relationship ended there.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because we got in a fight in the hotel room. Yeah.
Your relationship actually ended in Ohio.
Yeah. She flew home. She flew home early.
Was it your fault? It was your fault, wasn't it?
No, it was her fault.
Why?
Because you know how I carb up on shit food, on cake, on cookies and stuff. Yeah. She was dieting for some bikini bullshit show, yeah, at home. And she couldn't stand me looking at me eating that food. So she got angry at me, yeah. And like she was like, "Do you have to eat this fucking food in front of me?" And we're in a hotel room, okay?
Yeah.
This is for my fucking pro card.
Yeah.
I have to eat this. It's not like I'm
just for the fuck of it. Yeah.
And she got mad at me because I didn't stop eating the junk food.
Yeah.
That was my Hail Mary to get some of the weight back I lost. Yeah. And then she flew home early. And,
when did she leave? I'm sorry, I'm laughing. When did she leave? Like a Thursday or the Friday?
No, she flew home the day of the show at night.
Oh my God.
It was a 2-day show still, again. Yeah. So she flew home Saturday night. It was Friday, Saturday was the show. I flew home on Monday because I had a couple of photo shoots lined up.
Yeah.
So no pro card. I get home. I'm really frustrated.
No pro card, no girlfriend.
Yeah.
No.
So a month after the show, there's FIBO in Germany. And I got in touch. Dave Palumbo was looking for someone to help. I was like, I knew Dave was coming to FIBO with AREN, AREN Singerman and all those guys. They were with RX Muscle.
Yeah.
So they were coming to Germany for FIBO. And I told him, hey, I didn't know them at that point. But I was like, hey, if you need someone to show you around, and to translate and all that, I'm your man. And Dave was like, okay, I'll get you press passes. And then you come with us. You stay with us. You have to pay your own hotel room, though.
Yeah.
I said, cool. I'm going with them to meet them at FIBO. AREN, his wife, his son at that point was still a baby, his first son, Asher, Dave, and then Chris Aceto was around at some point.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out. We're spending the 4 days at FIBO. 4 days, actually, yeah. And then another month after that, there's the German Nationals again.
Yeah.
And then Dave was like, I was still shredded from the show because I still couldn't let it go. I still for some reason, I didn't do it intentionally. I had to keep dieting.
Yeah.
So
you didn't go back to an off season. You were stayed on your contest diet.
Yeah, because I was still in limbo. You know what I mean? Because I was still so traumatized from the whole, from everything I lost.
But most guys, when they're in limbo, they fucking go off and eat whatever they want. When you're in limbo, you stay on your diet.
Yeah, I'm the guy, when I feel bad, I don't eat. Okay. I'm not an emotional eater. I'm an emotional sufferer.
Okay. We're the opposite. When I get pissed off, I eat more.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
So Dave is like, God damn it, you're shredded. You got to eat some McDonald's. Just add McDonald's. Whatever you're eating right now, add McDonald's to it.
Yeah.
As soon as you add fats, you're going to grow. And then the funny thing is, we interview Ronnie Coleman at his booth. Yeah. And the first thing he says is, what show are you getting ready for?
Yeah.
With his, so Dave gives me a diet. I follow it. His 6 eggs in the morning, oatmeal, and he just adds fat macadamia nut oil to every meal.
Yeah.
And 1 cheat meal a day, 1 McDonald's thing a day. And I got better and harder and better looking and harder looking every day for the next 3 weeks. And I had a guest posing in Berlin, like Berlin Championships. I had a guest posing that was 1 week out from the German nationals.
Yeah.
6 days actually.
Yeah.
And I was guest posing there, and the judges over there told me, "Man, you look great. You should do the show next week." I was like, I'm not even dieting, man. I just had a fucking Ben and Jerry's yesterday. Yeah. And they're like, no, don't change anything. You look great.
Yeah.
So I'm calling Dave. I'm like, here are the pictures from the show, from the guest posing. Should I do the show next week? Yeah. He's like, do the show. You look great. Yeah. So I'm calling up the guy from my state, the president of my state. Yeah. And it's like, can I do the show next week in 5 days? That's Monday now. Yeah, we can't really say no to you. So I'm doing the show 5 days out, decided to do the show. Yeah. Go in, win the overall, bam.
That's
and
it.
Actually, the guy who plays second in front of me at the Arnold Classic Amateur, and I placed third, I beat him at that show again.
Yeah.
So I won the overall. That was my second pro card. They congratulate me for the pro card, man, asking in the interview after the show, they're like, "Oh, what pro show you want to do first and everything?" I'm like, "I don't even know yet. Yeah, I'm just going to put some size on and the whole, whatever you say after every show." Yeah. And then I have another guest posing lined up 6 months later for we have, just like you, we have, just like in the US, they have the USAs and they have a nationals, about 6 months apart. We have the same thing. Yeah. I guest post there again. They're asking me, "Oh man, what show are you going to do now? Have you decided?" I was like, "Give me one. Can I have my pro card first? I don't even have the papers right." They're like, yeah, we're going to put the papers in for you. You're going to get your pro card. And then 2 weeks later in January, they're like, "Yeah, about the pro card. Yeah, we're sorry, it's not going to happen."
What?
Exactly.
How can they do that?
They changed the rules.
What does that mean? What does
the IFBB changed the rule book. Okay, you're not getting any pro cards anymore for national championships.
What the fuck?
And I said, "But I won it before the rule change."
That's right. Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, bad luck." Then I said, okay, I still have a first place from the World Championships a couple years ago. How about that? Yeah, doesn't count. Doesn't count anymore.
Why are they trying to get you to? Why do they want to keep you as an amateur? I don't understand. Why are they doing this to you?
I don't know. I don't even know to this point. Right up to this point, I don't know. But that was that Rafael Santoja, that guy. Yeah. He was the deciding voice in that game. In that.
What the
you
fuck?
Don't get a pro card.
So now are you like, you want to retire, or where are you at now in your head?
You know what they said to me? It doesn't matter, kid. Just win another one.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And there was the amateur Mr. Olympia. That was 6 months after this one. After this, like in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna bulk up for 3 months, and then I'm gonna diet for 3 months, and I'm gonna win that. Again, I went into complete OCD, everything to the gram mode, and I won that show. Yeah, for the third time.
You won the Amateur Olympia.
Yeah, the year after Ramy won it. Man, I'm fucking lucky I didn't go there a year earlier.
Yeah.
So I won that show. I was standing on stage with that, that check that said pro card. That said pro card. So no one can take that away from me anymore. I have like picture proof.
Yeah.
And that was one of the hardest preps I've ever done.
Did you go back to the fish 9 times a day?
No. I had a friend help me the last couple of weeks again. Yeah. He's dead now, so may he rest in peace. Fritz.
Yeah.
Fritz. He was a pro in Germany. Not very successful, but he was massive. He helped me to dial myself in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do what he said exactly. I knew better.
Yeah.
For example, stupidest thing I've ever done. It was a 2-day show, right? I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking 1 day before prejudging. And I did not drink until after prejudging.
Holy
so
shit.
I went 3 days no water. Yeah.
Oh my God.
At the finals, I passed out backstage twice. Yeah. My mom was there. She was like slapping me in the face.
Yeah.
You know, to wake me up. I'm lucky they didn't see that because they would have disqualified me. You know? So I win the overall there, got my pro card. Actually, Kai Green gave me my trophy. We didn't get a trophy at that show, only a medal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're a show promoter. You always give out trophies, right?
Well, we give trophies for the overall, but we give medals for the top three.
Yeah. I didn't get anything. I got the paper mache pro card thing.
Yeah.
And the medal. That was it. No trophy.
But you got your pro card.
Yes.
So
that was the most important thing for me. I didn't care about anything else. I carved up like crazy again, as always, McDonald's and all that shit. And then I had a pro card, and then I was good.
All right. So now you're a pro.
Yes. And now to the mass gaining thing. So I'm thinking now I'm a pro. Now I have to put some size on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying everything at that point. I met Jason Huh 6 months after that at the Olympia. He was working for Animal. I was working for Animal too. And he told me, man, you're doing the whole intra-workout thing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because if you did it the way Art Atwood told me to do it, you would blow up.
Yeah.
So he gave me a special recipe to gain size, and it worked.
Yeah.
Got to give it to Jason. Yeah. And but to be honest, at that point I wasn't mentally ready to go that deep. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
To go that heavy with the chemicals.
To do the things you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the thing you have to do.
But for you, that's what they wanted. They were telling you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was horrible. Okay. Yeah. What he wrote down. I mean, Jason knows his shit with hormones and body feedback and all that, and how to balance estrogen and DHT and progesterone and prolactin. He knows he's a mastermind when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But at that point, I wasn't ready to commit. You know, I just thought, man, this is too heavy. You know what I mean?
But your desire to be a great pro bodybuilder wasn't enough. Like, did you think to yourself, there's got to be another way? Or
yes,
that's why. So you weren't like, so you said to yourself, I don't want to do that because I think I have a better way to do it.
Yeah. Dave always was mentoring me still. Yeah. And I was like asking Dave, look, should I do this? And he was like, who the fuck does this? Did you get that from Milos?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I tried it a little bit, but I couldn't do it. It was too heavy. So I tried my own dieting, you know. But it never really, you know, and I was never really able to put size on. You know, like it always, at that point, things started to get really, really stale. Put some size on, but not as impactful as it was when I was, you know, 18, 19, 20.
Well, I mean, it's obviously the bigger you get, the harder it's going to get. Right? Like, you're not going to keep putting on. I mean, you had crazy success in your younger years. You're not going to keep putting on 20, 30, 40 pounds in a year. But where you're at now, a couple things you mentioned while we were talking was you're training twice a day. That's something I wanted to talk to you about, because I tried training twice a day. I usually get through about 4 weeks and then my body starts to fall apart on me. And I talked to Justin Compton about it. Justin said the same thing. You know, Justin Compton was doing, 2-a-days. He would do them for like 8 weeks, he said, and then his body would kind of start to ache. You've been doing 2 days for a really long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you get away with it? And why is your body not breaking down on you?
It actually, I think it has broken down lately.
Yeah,
Do
but
you know that I have, huh?
But we're talking about, like, you've been doing this since you were really young. Like, it's not like I mean, how long have you been doing 2-a-days for?
I've been training for 17 years now. And probably I've been doing that for like 12.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time to be doing 2-a-days.
Yeah.
And you've had great success with it too. I mean, you put on a lot of weight. So, but it also stands to, people would say, well, maybe if you trained once a day, you put on more size. Did you ever think of that?
Yes. But you know what? Here comes the OCD. It is so hard to, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do all day.
You sound like me. You sound like me on a rest day. I hate rest days. I'm like, what fuck am I going to do all day long? Okay. Let's break down a little bit of X's and O's for people listening, because some people want to know this shit. When you're training twice a day, how does it work? Is it 7 days a week? Do you have a day off? Like, what is the schedule?
I used to do every day. I used to do every day. No days off.
No days off.
I used to do that for years on end. And the only days off were, the day before a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when I had to travel for Animal to fly to, that's the only day I would take off. I would never take like days off.
What about now?
Now I'm forcing myself to take Wednesdays off.
1 day off.
Yes.
And the other days you train twice a day?
Mm-hmm.
Roman,
but
I think, listen, if you just go to 5 days a week.
Once a day,
what would happen?
I would blow up.
But you can't do it.
I don't know, man. I'm fighting with myself. Sometimes I am right now, okay? I'm really doing a good job of training once a day sometimes.
Okay.
So I think last week I only trained twice on 2 days.
Yeah.
All the other days I trained once, and on Wednesday I didn't train at all.
Okay, what's your split? I'm gonna let people write this down. Everybody get their pen and paper out. How does your split work on the normal when you're doing 2 days every day?
Actually, I worked that out with Joe Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, he helped me to put that training together. It has a lot less volume, but it's still 2 days.
Just give me the body parts per day.
We're doing day 1 is chest in the morning, and
okay.
I always do abs. That doesn't count. Okay,
Yeah.
abs doesn't count.
No.
Then I'm doing shoulders and triceps at night.
Okay.
No traps, shoulders and triceps.
Yeah.
And only front delts and side delts.
Okay.
Okay.
So
that's only.
So that means day 1 is basically a push day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Then next day we're doing hamstrings and calves in the morning.
Yeah.
And then quads at night.
Yeah.
And then day 3 is back in the morning, and then what I call accessory work. That's like rear delts, traps, and biceps at night.
Okay. So day 3 is a pull day.
Yes.
Okay.
And that repeats.
And then repeat.
Yeah. And then there's 1 day off.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when I was prepping. Yeah. See, I could do that. I do that for like 4 days. And then, or sorry, 4 weeks. And then after 4 weeks, I'm like, okay, fuck it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just because my joints start to bother me and shit. And I start to feel run down. So I don't know how you're doing it. I mean, I know your eating is like perfect, even in the off season. So, and your body's also obviously conditioned to it. You've been doing it for so long. But I find the average person can't sustain this for a long period of time.
I think it's the same thing as when you say conditioned. If you look at Branch Warren, nothing against Branch Warren, okay, he obviously knows what he's doing, yeah?
Yeah.
But if you look at his training,
yeah.
If I started training like that,
yeah,
right now, I'd be in the hospital next week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I've said this to people before. I think, someone said to me, why don't you start training like Dexter Jackson? And I'm like, it's weird. Your body is like, it's kind of like the way you start training is the way your body is conditioned to develop that way.
Yeah.
It's hard to switch from like my style of training and then all of a sudden start training like Dorian Yates.
Yeah.
Like my body won't get the same amount of stimulus because he does less volume and whatever. It's like imagine you try to do Dorian Yates workouts. What do you think would happen?
That's how I injured my knee.
That's what I mean. I think,
yeah,
there's something to be said for that. Plus, when you say OCD, I was just thinking about this the other day because I have a lot of people on this podcast, coaches and scientists and whatever, and everybody has a different philosophy about training and what they should do. And sometimes I'll try stuff here and there for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, man, what I've realized is at the end of the day, everything works, but you have to like it.
Yes.
Like you can train twice a day and it works for you. I train once a day, 5 days a week. It works for me. Dorian Yates train 4 times a week. It works for him. Like you have to enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly. That's a big component that a lot of people don't, recognize. It's just what works on paper might not work in real life because you just don't like it, or you're not in tune with it. You see those guys sometimes at the gym. It's kind of, I don't know why it's always black guys. Yeah, they train everything every day.
Yeah,
a little bit of it, throwing stuff around, but they look great and they enjoy it. And for some reason, they have like big pecs and huge shoulders and big arms. They don't train legs. Okay, that's why I don't have any legs. But whatever they're doing every day, the same routine, they look awesome.
It's working. Yeah.
And they love it. If you told those guys, yeah, you have to train legs and you have to do this and you can't do that, and they would fucking hate it probably and regress.
Well, I remember we were talking a while back and I said, hey, what are you doing? Like, what's your diet look like? And you sent me your diet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try this. So I tried it for like 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck this. I can't do this shit. Because I can't do 1,000 grams of carbs a day. I just can't. I like my fats. So I like adding in fats. And I'm like, if I start adding in too many fats and I'm doing 1,000 grams of carbs a day, I just get bloated and
work,
feel like shit. So again, it's the same thing. Your diet, there's a million ways to diet and there's a million ways to grow, but you have to do what kind of like you enjoy. So your diet's primarily carbs and protein. You don't do a lot of fat.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. When I eat too many fats, I don't know why. It's like my body can't digest it. I get acid reflux.
Okay.
And it really, I feel I can digest fats that's already in food, like whole eggs and steak and everything, or salmon.
Yep.
But if I add, peanut butter or avocado, stuff like that, my digestion can handle it.
I wonder if digestion is the same as training, where you ate a certain way for so many years that if somebody comes along all of a sudden and says, hey, put peanut butter in every meal, it's going to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, because you ate carbs and protein by themselves for so long. I don't know if it works that way, but maybe it's the same way your body.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's like,
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Good.
I want to show people what we're talking about, which I usually do at the beginning of the show, but I want to show people your physique. So this is what you look like right now. No.
No. That was my last off season exactly a year ago. That was my heaviest ever.
Yeah. The funny thing is, you say this is the off season. This looks like most guys like 2 weeks out.
That was my heaviest ever, and I was gonna do the St. Louis Pro.
Yeah.
But then the whole world shut down, as you know.
What did you weigh here?
128. That's like, I think it's 280 or something.
This is you at 280?
Let me calculate. 283.
Fuck, Roman, that's big, man. I mean, this is seriously not far from show conditioning.
I have striated glutes too.
It's crazy, and this is you can see the striations in your fucking ass through your pants.
Yeah.
I mean, this is you in the off season, right?
This is me in the off season, yeah. But right now, I just got a hip replacement. So
is that what this is here?
Yeah. See that?
Yeah.
I got a full hip replacement. 8 weeks ago, I think.
What was that for? Why?
Yeah, because here, that joint there, I'm pointing at my fucking screen, like you can see it.
Yeah.
So I had I didn't know about it, but I had it genetically. It's called dysplasia.
Okay.
So what you see there, the bone, go back. So that head of the femur bone, the ball there, was too big for the socket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So over the years of squatting and everything, it just tore the joint down, and then they replaced it.
This is steel?
This is titanium.
So you're like Wolverine now.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Terminator.
Yeah. Is this off season? I just want to show people how crazy it is. This is your off seasons.
This is me, but after the surgery.
Oh, you still look like this.
Yeah, that's me off.
Fuck. That's you at your worst.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Roman. Your physique is nuts, man.
This is me off season. Yeah, this is off season. That was, again, I think that was 280.
So Roman, right now you look like this. Are you doing that crazy kind of diet that you said earlier, where you're measuring everything, you're not eating any condiments, you're not eating the extra food, you're not, you know what I mean? Is that what you're doing now?
I'm eating some condiments. I found sriracha sauce.
Yeah.
And that's what I found. That's what I'm using. But I don't use that many condiments. You know what I mean? It's like But I
don't necessarily mean just condiments. I mean, the diet is are you very perfect? Or are you cheating? Or
yes, no, it's 100% perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Especially right now, because I'm after this. That was right before the surgery. Still, my legs don't look anything like that right now.
Yeah, but it'll come back quick.
Man, I feel terrible. After the surgery, I was like, "Fuck this." Yeah.
No, it'll come back, man. I went through surgery last year. This is you on stage. Yeah.
This is my last pro show. I placed third. Ian won that show.
Yeah.
In Spain.
Oh, it's the Spain show, yeah.
Yeah. Ian won that show. That was awesome, man. I love Ian.
Yeah.
So as far as bodybuilding is concerned, Ian is one of my best friends. See that?
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
But you see the size difference between him and me?
There's a fullness. Yeah. I mean, structurally you're good, but there's a muscularity, a fullness to the muscle that's definitely you could add more. But I don't know, man. I still go back to, work training less and eating more.
Exactly. That's when I won my second pro card.
Yeah, it's incredible. So before we go, I just want to talk to you about this. You started a supplement company.
I did. No, I started. I'm working with this company. It's called ESN.
Okay.
European Sports Nutrition, I think.
Oh, I thought because I saw your name on everything, so I thought it was your supplement company.
Yeah, they gave me a product.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man. I thought that was your company.
That's my signature serious intra workout drink.
Did they let you formulate it?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
It's essential amino acids.
Yeah.
A little bit of Pepto Pro.
Okay.
A little bit of IsoClear. That's also a branded whey isolate.
Okay.
Then it's of course cluster dextrin, cyclic dextrin.
Yeah.
And then it has a matrix of electrolytes.
Okay.
And no bullshit, no fillers, nothing in it. How
did you get the Pepto Pro to taste good? Because I know how quality it is, but I also know it tastes fucking horrible.
This product, we did a lot of testing actually.
Yeah.
And this tastes awesome, man. This is the best tasting stuff I've ever had.
You guys must have worked really hard on it, because Pepto Pro is nasty, and if you made it taste good,
yeah,
that's definitely a quality product. I made a lot of gains with Pepto Pro, but I'm scared to use it in my own products because it's hard to flavor. But you must have figured out a formula for it.
Man, I think there's 5 different types of sweetener in there. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
As long as it tastes good, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really tastes. I can send you some.
Yeah.
Just
try it out.
I send you a tub. You try it out. Maybe you copy it. I don't worry about it.
I will. I'm going to copy the exact.
Yeah, just give it to your guy. Tell him, analyze this because it tastes awesome. Yeah?
Match it. Yeah. One last thing. I heard you have a shoe fetish. What's that all about?
Yeah, I think it's maybe because I was back when I was in school, when I had no money in that boarding school bullshit situation over there. I never had any shoes. Man, I had one pair of Jordans back then.
Yeah.
And I played basketball until literally I could touch the floor with my socks.
You wore out the bottoms, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that left a little trauma. So now I'm collecting Jordans. I have way too many, man. I have
do you have?
Triple digits.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like it's a real fetish.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think just last week, I ordered 9 pairs.
Well, if it makes you happy, man, fuck, who cares? Okay.
I'm the guy, I always order at least 1 pair for the shelf and then 1 pair to wear.
Yourself, yeah. Of course. Okay. One last thing. I have to ask you one last thing before we go, because you gave me an interesting way of judging women a while back. You remember what you said to me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so tell everybody what the rules are for judging women on Instagram if you're trying to pick them up.
Okay, so here's the thing. Man, I hope I can get this right in English. If you wanna know how much self-esteem a girl has, meaning how insecure she is, and that would exactly translate into how much effort you have to put into fucking her. So the more insecure they are, the easier they are to get, right?
I guess this is your philosophy.
If a girl is confident in herself, she's not going to give it up so easy.
It will be harder. Yes, it'll be harder to get her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how you can find out about her insecurity is you look at her last 10 pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
If those are all selfies, you are 100% going to fuck her on the first date. And if the more non-selfies or the more, political stuff or esoteric stuff or landscape bullshit, the less feedback, and compliments she needs from other people, the more secure, confident she is, the harder it is to get her into bed.
Have you tested this theory out in your own life?
Yes.
And it works?
It works like tried and true, I'm telling you.
So you're saying if I'm a single guy, like I'm married, so this doesn't apply to me, but if I'm a single guy, I want to get laid, I got to find a girl on Instagram that has all selfies in the top 10 photos.
Yeah, and you're going to fuck her on the first date, no problem. You can take her to McDonald's, it doesn't matter.
I want to try and find somebody, but I don't want to offend anybody, so we're not going to do it.
But it does work. And you know, you always talk about numbers, you know,
yeah.
With Ian, I bet my number is way higher than all of theirs.
All because of this theory? Because you find
Yes.
it. Okay.
I mean, this theory developed a little bit, yeah, because Instagram is only around since 2013.
Yeah.
But I collected a lot since then.
What? So Instagram helped you collect more?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I used to bounce on the weekends before that. Yeah. But and that was very lucrative to say.
In that regard, yeah.
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 But it made it even easier when Instagram came around.
Nah, it's not easier than bouncing. Bouncing is like, how long did you bounce for?
2009, 10, 11, 12, and then I stopped.
So 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I did it for 4 or 5 years.
What's your funniest women's story when you were bouncing?
Oh, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. My wife's gonna watch this. I can't tell you that.
Okay. I had a couple crazy ones. I can tell you one.
Okay, tell me one.
So I'm just standing there, you know, at the door, minding my own inside the club, you know, looking around, looking serious, and you know what it always look kind of mean, you know. And then 2 girls come up to me, one a little ahead of the other one. The girl behind her is like, "Don't do it. Don't. Just leave him alone. Leave him." He's like, "Leave me the fuck alone." Okay. See. And the guy's like, "Yeah, whatever." And the girl comes up to me, goes to my ear and is like, "Can I please give you a blowjob?" And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So the guy that actually runs the security, he's like, what do they want? He's like, she wants to give me a blowjob. He's like, "Dude, go ahead." Yeah. I'm totally supportive. Go ahead. And that was like, I lost my
faith.
I lost my faith in women for the first time. I have another really crazy story.
Okay.
I don't know if I should share that one.
It's up to you, man. It's your hour.
So when I won my second pro card.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to this. I have a separate hotel room at the show.
Yeah.
Because I obviously, like I said, I booked everything late. Yeah, 5 days out. Yeah. So I have a separate hotel room in like a little bit better wing of the hotel. It's more expensive. I'm all by myself in the hotel room. And during prejudging and finals, I'm lying on the bed. Someone knocks at my door. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's some girl, you know?
Just random.
Yeah, random girl. But she looks hot. Okay. She's like, "Oh, I'm such a big fan of yours," and blah blah blah. Yeah, I found out your number. I found out your room number because I told the receptionist I was your girlfriend and everything.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, can I come in?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But
this is between prejudging and night show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have tan on and everything.
Yeah.
So she starts, getting a little more intimate.
Mm.
And I tell her, I can't have sex right now because, I'm all colored up.
You skipped over a whole bunch of shit. How did she go from "I'm a fan" did she just start making out with you? Like she just started like touching me and complimenting me on shit. Yeah. Man, your biceps and blah, 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 your pecs and shit. So I was like, because when you're dieting, you're a little bit cranky. Yeah.
Yeah. So you come straight to the point. You're like, I can't have sex right now. I don't have time for this. I got to do a show in 3 hours. Yeah. So she gives me a blowjob on the bed there, right between prejudging and finals.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, okay. So I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told her, you can't stay here now because I want to take a nap. We can maybe hook up afterwards, have a drink or something like that, Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't have time there because I got to go back to my boyfriend.
Oh my God.
I'm like, your boyfriend? Yeah, he's downstairs.
Holy fuck.
I'm like, what? Yeah, he's doing the show too.
No way.
So he's fucking lying backstage at the show.
Yeah.
While she goes up.
Yeah.
Hooks up with me.
Holy fuck.
Probably goes down back to him, kisses him right away. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit.
So that was definitely the second time you lost faith in women, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few of those moments where you're like, what the fuck? But
not all women are like that, okay, ladies.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
But there's a couple real bad ones in there.
Makes for good stories though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Fuck, that's crazy, man. I don't even know. I couldn't do it between morning and night show.
I wasn't that depleted because I only decided to do the show 5 days out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't know.
When you've carved up, as soon as you carve up, all the energy is back.
You're
all of
good
a sudden.
to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're dieting, do you lose your sex drive?
If I put in an effort, I can have sex.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. Like, I'm saying, like, do you care? I don't really care.
You lose it because you don't have. First of all, your head is in the show already. Yeah, you're already on stage a month out.
Yeah.
And then you don't have the energy. You got to do cardio. You got to practice posing, and in between all this, stuff you got to do. You don't even want to talk. You just want to lie on the couch, don't even want to watch a movie because you don't have the attention span.
When I'm 4 or 5 weeks out, that's it. Might as well just turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm fucked. I can't do shit.
You can't even watch a movie for an hour, right? It's just too.
If I put on a movie, sometimes I'll try. But you know what? I put on a movie and relax. 10 minutes into the movie, I'm doing something else. I'll turn it off and I'll go do something else.
Exactly.
You know what? I watch a lot of news when I'm dieting because the news is fast, right?
Yeah.
It's like one story to the next story to the next story.
Do you order shit online when you're dieting?
Do you know how much money I've spent when I'm dieting? The last two cars I bought when I was dieting. I can't. Yeah.
Man, I think I should put have my girlfriend put a password on Amazon or something like that.
A lock on your bank account or some shit. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I don't know what that is. It's like, I don't go out in the off season. So some people say, well, because you can't go out because you're dieting, so you spend money online. I'm like, I don't really go out in the off season anyway. So I'm like, I don't know what it is about the diet that makes you start looking online, start searching on my phone for shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly, on the last prep I did, there would be packages that come to my house and I didn't know what they were until I opened the box.
Yeah. And there's a package coming like every day.
Yeah.
Every day at the same time, it's an Amazon, and
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Some kind of supplement you want to try out, because you heard someone talk about astragalus or something like that. Yeah. I gotta order this. And then
I was buying fucking frying pans, Roman.
I bought 2 frying pans my last show. Yeah.
Still
in the box.
3 days in a row. I had frying pans come to the house. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah.
And they're still in the box now.
One of them is still in the box.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's fun.
And I love you.
I should get you on I'll get you on sometime with the guys. We'll have a good chat.
I would love that.
You can tell some more bouncer banging stories.
Yeah, with James and with Ian, that would be cool. Ben,
I'll get you on one time. We'll have some fun. Yeah. All right, brother. I'll get this up soon, and we'll talk again very soon. Don't be a stranger.
I won't. Thanks,
right,
man.
brother. Thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.